Good morning, everybody. Lynn, the leather bag lady here. How are you all today? It's pretty early this morning. It's only 5 after 9. Up and at 'em already today. Today is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Leather bag lady weather report. It is sunny, 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 and it's supposed to be sunny all day long. And I'm really, really looking forward to having a full, productive day. And I'll talk about what I got done yesterday after I show you today's bag. So, today's bag is a pretty little bag. It is very simple in its styling. It is a Canadian company, Durabilt, out of Vancouver. And here we are again with just a nice, simple bag, but with enough detailing that it makes it a little something different. These little overhang things are really cool. They seem to be very typical of Canadian-made bags. Carnegie Man, Leather by Man has a lot of these. Durabilt has a lot of these, which is what this bag is. But it's just, what's going to fall over? Oh, I wanted to show you, if I remember, I'll show you what I just kicked over in a minute. But it has a nice little dart system on either end. There isn't like a formal gusset, but it does have an actual seam to kind of create its own gusset. But what is really kind of different about this bag is the top. It has this kind of platform that allows you to really, really make some space. Now, you can stuff it so that that platform is on the very top, or it just becomes one of the design elements in that it is. So you got some options with this little bag, and then over the top it goes. So in the pictures in my listing, I've stuffed it pretty full. So you'll find that this little metal disc is just here, whereas if it's not quite so full, it falls all the way down. And just these little diagonal lines just give it a little bit more interest. The strap, I put an extra hole in it. It looks like, unfortunately, somebody's chopped it, but it's still a 20.5-inch strap drop. It's a higher sitting crossbody, but again, I'm a little bit of a bigger lady, so it sits comfortably on my hip, so it's still going to be a crossbody option. Albeit the crossbodies are heading out of fashion now. Shoulder bags are back because right now it's either a teeny weeny little bag, short shoulder, which is not as trendy as it was a year or two ago, but the big totes are back in fashion, which gives me even more reason to shout about my purse pouches. If you watched my video a couple of days ago, last week, I think we talked about purse pouches, which gives you the option to use a large bag that maybe has no compartments or not even any pockets inside. So instead of your stuff all just rolling around the bottom, you use these beautiful little leather pouches that you can find everywhere you go. And some of them are really quite inexpensive. So I would even put a couple of purse pouches in here. There's your Durabilt Vancouver, one zippered pocket, and then it's just a big black hole. So if and I love this little, I think this has come off another bag. It's a G, which doesn't really mean anything for this brand. But I love these little zipper pulls. I think they are just so retro. Really cute. Doesn't really match, but I'm not taking it off. It was on there when I purchased it. And yeah, because that's E and that's really quite a clear G. So I don't think this is original to the bag. But anyway, regardless of that, it's a great little bag. The leather quality it's a little stiffer than a lot of the bags, but it's in amazing condition, and I think that a little bit of a tougher leather will just make it a little bit more harder wearing, as opposed to the beautiful bag I showed you yesterday, which is quite a bit softer, and it just is a little bit more susceptible to, you know, putting it down on the floor, on the ground. You know, if you're on a patio, you know, you don't want to put a bag like that down. This one maybe isn't such a concern. But that is today's bag. Cute, cute, cute little thing. And this is one of the bags that I had filled with lavender soap. So this is another one of those little gems that I forgot I had. So there we go. So today, like I said, I'm going to be back in my shed. I was able to get that last wall painted yesterday, albeit it threatened rain all afternoon. But I thought, you know what? It was a couple of reasons. I'm trying so desperately to get back on my intermittent fasting and cutting out. My Lent project didn't go as planned. Moving into this house threw me into probably a month-long real headspace that I wasn't happy being in, and I really didn't feel that it was the right time to put even more stress on myself with restricting eating and all that kind of stuff. So now I refilled my thyroid prescription, because that absolutely does affect your mood as well. So I'm back on track with that, and back in the gym. This is my 3rd week now back in the gym. That's going well, and just starting to feel a little bit more positive. We're not having so much issues with the house in front. A lot of pot smoking and crazy music happening on the deck, which I don't think is going to get any better as the weather warms. If anything, I think it'll get worse. But we are going to join Pius's niece, Janice, and her husband, Hugh. They are part of a van club. I think I mentioned this yesterday or the day before. We were actually looking at buying a van, which we are going to do, but just not right now, because we very much want the bike to be part of it. And we went and looked at a van on Sunday that we had hoped we could put the bike inside whilst we were traveling, but the doors are not big enough. So it's going to mean that we're more likely going to have to buy an enclosed trailer as well, which is not a bad thing, because the enclosed trailer will act as storage for the bike in the winter. But it's just probably another $3,500 on top of the van. And I'm just a little nervous about that, because, you know, we're just actually starting to get a little bit back on our feet financially. The build for me here has cost, you know, quite a few thousand, and I don't want to exhaust the money I have left, because it is a little bit of a cushion for me, and yeah, I'm just not comfortable. And then we're gonna have to park them here, and we're not ready for that yet. And so we figured out that we could take Pius's pickup. We're gonna measure the back, because he's got a crew cab, so we're gonna measure that back section, and I think at a push we could probably get between a single and a twin mattress back there. And let's face it, if we're going to do one of these van events and we're going to stay over, chances are we'll be a little tipsy anyway, so who cares? We will be like, you know, we'll get in that back and just fall right asleep. My mom and dad have all kinds of camping stuff, which mom just mentioned to me the other day about, you know, do you want to look and see what we've got? And I'm like, absolutely, because that is going to be a huge opportunity to get a bunch of stuff without spending a lot of money, just to see if we like it. The van is a compromise for Pius on the trailer, and it is actually giving me something that I was already planning to do before I met Pius. I was going to sell this house, buy a trailer in a static park for 6 months, and then do some traveling for a few months, maybe stay, you know, with my mom, my aunt for a few weeks at a time. I was going to figure it out. But, here we are, and it's all good. We kind of had a little rough month or so, Pius and I, but you know what? Nothing is perfect, and I would rather we go through something like that successfully than, have a great no problem situation for a year or two, and then all of a sudden there's a bump in the road and you have no idea how to deal with each other. We communicate very, very well. Pius is very patient with me. I'm an overthinker. I tend to have a million ideas and probably execute one. And I'm sure you know that if you've been following me for a while, that I have all these brilliant ideas, and getting it accomplished is where I kind of fall apart. So today is going to be a very big get things done day. My clients canceled the movie yesterday. My one client wasn't feeling very well, so we didn't go, and that was why I was able to get the shed painted. But there's so much crap still in the middle section of the shed that it's just not going to be usable yet. But I'm going to get there. I am going to get there. Getting that done yesterday was a really, really big deal. So that is it for me today. Hopefully the weather is going to warm up later today. I am so looking forward to having a moment or two on the deck and just being able to kind of visualize how I'm going to be able to use that space, not only as I'm working in my outside office space, but how we're going to use the deck to socialize. And the heat of the summer is going to be way too hot out there, so I'm not sure how we're going to combat that. My original plan was to actually get a gazebo with sides and butt it right up against the shed, and then open the door with the air conditioning in my office shed, and let some of that cool air go into the gazebo with the sides down. But I think that plan is probably changed now. So anyway, we'll figure it out. It's all just a puzzle. Pius has a very technical, engineer-based brain. I had him in the shed in my office space last night when he came home from work. And he always calls me when he leaves the yard. And I said, I'm in the office. I need your eyes. So we kind of brainstormed a few ideas on how to place a desk or something of that nature. I think we've just decided we're going to use one of the utility tables I have, because if I don't want it there, if I'm going to have a sale at the office or on the deck or whatever, I can fold that up and put it away, as opposed to a static desk where it's there's no option to make it smaller and put it out of the way. So he's wonderful. I do get a lot of inspiration from his more technical brain, and I'm a little bit more on the artsy, frilly side, but we're making it work, and I'm about to have a hot flash. See these cheeks getting all pink. On that note, I'm going to say toodaloo. Have a great day, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.